Hello everyone, welcome to my very first Nintendo Switch game collection showcase. I purchased this incredible system back in 2017. It feels like just yesterday. As some of you might already know, I have a massive PS4 collection. However, when it comes to the Nintendo Switch, my focus is primarily on collecting exclusive titles. Today, I'm excited to share with you a selection of interesting games that have found their way into my Switch library. Without further ado, let's dive in and explore my small but sweet collection of Switch games. Let's kick off with the Switch game that I bought alongside the system, Cave Story Plus. This incredibly charming 2D platform game originally debuted on PC back in 2004. It's filled with delightful surprises at every turn, making it an absolute treasure for fans of classic 2D platform game. Next is Fire Emblem Warriors. This is an interesting game where you can control your favorite Fire Emblem characters and engage in epic battles against hordes of enemies. It definitely offers truly one-of-a-kind experience for fans of both franchises. We have an absolutely fantastic game here, Super Mario Odyssey. I have a soft spot for the 3D Mario adventure over the traditional 2D platformers. This game can be enjoyed by players of all ages. Next, we have The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. This is Explorer's Edition, which includes a handy guide and a detailed map. Breath of the Wild is one of the most critically acclaimed games of all time. However, I must admit, I haven't finished it myself, but I determined to conquer it one day. Hello Kitty Cruisers originally made its debut on the Wii U, and back in the day it was considered quite a rare find. Without a doubt, Hello Kitty Cruisers is an adorable racing game. However, the overall gameplay falls a bit short of greatness. I bought this one mainly for collecting. Next up, we have the incredibly unique game, Katamari Damacy Reroll. Originally released as a console exclusive for the Nintendo Switch, this remastered version of the classic title later became available on the PS4 and Xbox One as well. If I had known that beforehand, I would have simply waited for the PS4 version. Another game that I would have held off on buying if I had known a PS4 version was in the works. That is Story of Seasons, Friends of Mineral Town. I eventually ended up getting the PS4 version. No offense, I just prefer earning trophies. Friends of Mineral Town holds a special place for me as it was the very first Story of Seasons game I ever played, back when it was still called Harvest Moon. Next up is Title Milestones, a collection that features 10 games. Just like I always said, the only game that truly matters to me is Frontline. That's the only one I am looking to play. Next up is Sodom Drop Connect Erase, a puzzle game that I gave a try, but unfortunately it didn't quite capture my interest. Personally, I found the gameplay to be a bit too complicated. Next up is a game that may not have received much attention, but let me tell you, Sports Party is a game that I personally enjoy a lot. Just as the title suggests, it is a sports party game where you can compete with your friends in a variety of sports activities. The game makes great use of the Joy-Con's motion control. In my opinion, Sports Party is an underrated game that deserves more recognition. Next up is the strategy card battle game Shadowverse Champions Battle, exclusively available on the Nintendo Switch. The game has received some positive reviews, and I personally cannot wait to give it a try once I find some free time. Next up is the game I imported from Taiwan, Seven Pirates Age. This RPG is known for its controversial content, which is likely why it hasn't received a physical release in the US. I recall the game was initially released exclusively on the PS Vita in Japan. As for the meaning of the Age in the title, it probably means Switch or Hentai, who knows. We are close to the end. Let's check some big box games. First up is the Toki Retroactor Edition, which is GameStop exclusive. Toki is a classic arcade game originally released in 1989. Personally, I am not a huge fan of this type of game, but I purchased it primarily for collecting. Next up is the Switch game that consumed most of my time in 2021, Ring Fit Adventure. Now let me ask you all, how many of you actually experience significant weight loss by playing this game? Personally, I find the hype around Ring Fit Adventure's fitness benefits to be overrated. In my case, I stopped using it in the end of 2021. After that, I managed to lose nearly 50 pounds in 15 months, simply by adjusting my eating habits and incorporating daily hikes in the woods. If your goal is weight loss, I wouldn't consider Ring Fit Adventure as a viable solution. From a video game standpoint, I have to be honest, I found it really boring. The last game on our list is actually my very first Nintendo Switch game, Mario Plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. This collector's edition is GameStop exclusive, and considered quite rare at the time. However, I have to admit that it turned out to be a huge disappointment. The collector's edition feels like a rip-off, as the figurine could be purchased separately and the soundtrack CD came packed with cardboard. It's definitely a regretful purchase. That being said, the game itself is decent, offering an enjoyable experience as a turn-based tactical game. Aside from those physical games, I also have a collection of digital games on my Nintendo Switch. To be honest, I managed to acquire all of them for free. Some indie publishers occasionally offer giveaways for their games. I never spent a dime in the Nintendo store. And there you have it. That concludes my Nintendo Switch game collection showcase. I hope you enjoyed taking a glimpse into my small but sweet collection of Switch games. Although I took a break from collecting for the past 3 years, I have now decided to dive back in and expand my collection even further. Alright, that's it for this video. If you like this video, be sure to hit that subscribe button below. I will see you soon.